Hello, this is Nathan Oxenfeld with Integral Eyesight Improvement in Asheville, North Carolina. And yes, I am swinging in my hammock today. Not only because it's a gorgeous day here in North Carolina, and because I wanted to get some full spectrum ultraviolet sunlight, get some outdoor time, but also because swinging is good for your eyes and for your vision. If you've watched the long swing video, you know that gentle swinging back and forth increases your blood flow, your lymph flow, the circulation of the fluid inside your eyes, and also encourages your eyes to just shift and move more fluidly and effortlessly. So if you don't want to do your long swing practice one day, just sling up your hammock and do some swinging in your hammock for some deep relaxation and extra movement of your eyes. Today's video, though, is going to be focused on the fundamental principle of the Bates method. Before I explain the fundamental principle, though, I want to briefly mention the Naked Eye podcast, which is the podcast that I started earlier this year in 2015. It's been a lot of fun getting that started and working out the kinks. Really excited for 2016 to be offering more regular updates and episodes, including more interviews with more people and more guests. So if you haven't checked that out yet, head over to my website to listen to all the episodes that have been uploaded so far, or search in iTunes or any podcast search engine for the Naked Eye podcast. Make sure you subscribe, and if you get a chance to leave a rating or a review, that helps with the listings so that more people can have access to the podcast, can discover it, who might have vision problems and are looking for holistic alternatives to glasses, contacts, and surgery. So give that show a listen and let me know what you think. Oh, and also the next episode or two, I'm going to be doing a question and answer episode where I'm going to be answering questions that people have left on my YouTube video or sent in through email. So if you have a specific question that you want me to talk about, to address, or to answer in the next episode of the Naked Eye podcast, leave that in the comment section in this video or send me an email. You can find that on my website, and I'd be happy to get that answered for you. So you can find the fundamental principle of the Bates method in Dr. William H. Bates's book. He's the ophthalmologist who developed the Bates method, this whole field of natural vision improvement. His book was published in 1920, and it's called Perfect Sight Without Glasses. The revised edition is called Better Eyesight Without Glasses. And in the description of the video below, I've included a link to a website that has this entire book for free. So if you want to go ahead and click that website, that link, and follow along, because before I explain the fundamental principle, what it is and how it works, I'm just actually going to read it to you out loud, and if you want to follow along, we can do this exercise together to give you an experience of the fundamental principle, so when I explain it, it'll hopefully make a little more sense. So either click that link, pull up that website, or use the page, other words on the page on the screen, or if you have a book nearby, you can grab a book or a piece of paper with print on it so that you can do this exercise with me. So, to quote Dr. Bates, "Do you read imperfectly? Can you observe then that when you look at the first word or the first letter of a sentence, you do not see best where you are looking? That you see other words or other letters just as well as or better than the one you're looking at? Do you observe also that the harder you try to see, the worse you see?" So I'm going to pause for a second here and explain this. Take a look at a book or a website with some print on it and just pick the first word, or just pick one word on that page. When you look at that word, can you see other words around it just as well or even better than the one that you're looking directly at? So just check in and see if that's happening right now. Now we'll continue with the exercise. Now close your eyes and rest them, remembering some color like black or white that you can remember perfectly. Keep them closed until they feel rested, or until the feeling of strain has been completely relieved. Now open them and look at the first word or letter of a sentence for a fraction of a second. If you have been able to relax partially or completely, you will have a flash of improved or clear vision, and the area seen best will be smaller. After opening the eyes for this fraction of a second, close them again quickly, still remembering the color, and keep them closed again until they feel rested. Then open again for a fraction of a second. Continue this alternate resting of the eyes and flashing of the letters for a time, and you may soon find that you can keep your eyes open for longer than a fraction of a second without losing the improved vision. If your trouble is with distant instead of near vision, use the same method with distant letters. In this way, you can demonstrate for yourself the fundamental principle of the cure of imperfect sight by treatment without glasses. So let's do this together. This is an example of, I just typed out the fundamental principle into a reading card. This is an example. It's different size print. So this is one of the vision building charts, eye charts, that I use with my individual vision students who are working with me to strengthen their vision online or in person, because Dr. Bates actually taught that the best way to improve your near vision is to work with these types of eye charts up close without reading glasses, and the best way to improve distant vision is to work with eye charts and fine print in the distance without distance glasses. So that's one of the main things that I teach in my private vision training lessons. So if you want more information about that, head over to my website, integraleyesight.com, to learn how you can get involved with that. But getting a little off topic, we're going to repeat this exercise together. So what you do is you close your eyes and you rest your eyes, rest your mind by visualizing any color you want, black, white, any color of the rainbow, just as long as you need to, so that your eyes feel nice and soft and relaxed. Oh, and you don't have your glasses on for this exercise, by the way. This is just the naked eye. So what you do is, once your eyes feel rested, you flash them open for just a fraction of a second and then close them again, coming back to that color. And you're flashing open on that one word or one letter that you looked at before doing this exercise. So the first word on this card is do. So I would close my eyes, think about the color black, then I would open my eyes for a fraction of a second, undo, and close again. And I'll just keep repeating this over and over and over again. It's like a reverse blink. When you blink, your eyes go from open to closed for a very short time. So if you reverse that, your eyes are closed and then they're open for a very short time. So you blink open on that one word for a very short time, and then you close again. And if you're doing this correctly, you will experience little flashes of clarity, little temporary improvements in your vision where the word appears clearer or blacker or more distinct. And not only will it look better, but the area that you see best will be smaller. So if before you did this exercise, when you looked at that first word, if you could see other words around it equally or better, this exercise is going to reverse that, so that only the one word that you're looking at, or one letter, is best, and the words around it are not as clear as the one that you're looking at. And that is the fundamental principle of the Bates method. Dr. Bates called it central fixation. I prefer to call it centralization, because fixation tends to make you think about staring. And I don't want you to confuse staring with centralizing. Centralizing is using just your central vision to see clearly with, not using your peripheral vision. And this is just based on the anatomy of your eye. The retina inside of your eye is curved. The light enters your eye and lands on the center of your retina in an area called the macula. And in the center of the macula is something called the Fovea Centralis. This area of your retina is like the bullseye. It's like the target that light is designed to land at. And that is your central vision. That's whatever you're looking directly at. Everything around that area in your retina gives you your peripheral vision. Everything that you're not looking directly at. So what centralization is focusing on whatever you're looking at. seeing best what you're looking straight at and not seeing as clearly what you're not looking at. Now, this seems at first very common sense, but once you become a lot more aware of the difference between your central vision and your peripheral vision, then you can start to demonstrate that things in the middle, things you're looking straight at, look much better than the things that you're not looking at. So I've got two hands up on the screen here. If you look at this hand should not be as clear as this one. Then if you look over here, then this hand is not as clear as this one. Because when you look over here, this is where your central vision is. Your peripheral vision is over here, not as clear as your central. Then when you look over at this one, now your central vision's over here. This is now peripheral. It is a lot of strain to try and see both of my hands equally clearly at the same time. And that's because it's anatomically impossible. Your central vision is only like 1% or less of your visual field. The other 99% is your peripheral vision. And when you try and see things in your peripheral field clearly, it creates confusion and strain and tension in your mind. It puts strain on your visual system. When you centralize, it's relaxing to your eyes. It sends relaxation through your whole brain, your whole body, because you're using your eyes correctly. And that's why centralization is a little bit different than some of the other practices that you already know from my other videos, like the swinging and the sunning and the nose drawing and these things that involve movement and exercise and effort. Centralization is not a practice. It's an idea. It's a thought. It's a different way to see the world. It's a different way to use your eyes 24/7. Because you can always be centralizing. Whatever you're looking at, that's where your central vision is, and you're allowing your peripheral vision to be off-center. You're not trying to see everything equally clearly. Dr. Bates taught, when you look at a house, don't try and see the whole house all at once. Just look at the doorknob. When you look at a tree, don't try and see the whole tree. Look at one leaf. So when you're watching this video, don't try and see me and the trees in the background and other things on the screen or other things around in your room. Don't try and see it all. Just look at my face. It's a small part of the screen. So you can use like your computer mouse as an example. Instead of trying to see the whole screen at once, just follow the mouse. Move your mouse around, follow the cursor. That's how small your central vision is. Look at your keyboard. Don't try and see the entire alphabet all at once. Just look at the A, then the B, then the C, and let whatever key that you're looking at be in the very middle and be the best. It looks the best. It's the clearest because you're looking right at it, and all the other letters and numbers are off-center. So at first, centralization seems pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it's actually a very complex concept, and it's one that I spend a lot of time teaching my individual students to. So for now, we're just kind of briefly introducing it and scratching the surface, but start to think about it more. Ask yourself throughout the day, am I centralizing, or is my focus very diffused? Am I mentally focused on the task at hand, or am I juggling 10 different projects at once? So when you apply this idea of centralization to other areas of your life, it becomes very all-encompassing. So this is literally the fundamental principle of the Bates method. And Dr. Bates put a lot of emphasis on this because he made this the foreword to his book. Before he introduced anything else about natural vision improvement, he said, hey, this is the most important part. So definitely read through this on your own, and if you haven't read Dr. Bates' book yet, take a look at that so you can go straight to the source of this information. But more importantly, start to play with this in your own life. Experience it every day. See if you can centralize. And if you're able to successfully centralize, what's exciting about that is that you will achieve clear vision. Because when you centralize, when you encourage that light to land on the bullseye, that's what gives you clear vision. So this is the secret to clear vision without glasses, is whether or not you can centralize. So once again, if you want some more information about how to improve your vision naturally, I would explore the different options of online vision training lessons, either one-on-one with me, or I'm going to be starting a group online sight semester in early 2016, where I'll be taking a group of students through this process together. So more information about both of those on my website, integraleyesight.com. I really appreciate you watching, and happy centralizing.